Well, hello, welcome to Thursday's Not Today with me, Emma Caldwell. I hope you're okay today. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's what's on the show. First, we're going to be speaking to union leaders as healthcare assistants in Nottingham's two hospitals continue to walk out in a row over back pay.
We're so tired, we're so drained, but we're still coming to work and doing it every day. And you don't have the big bosses, you don't have the trust coming down on the wards to help you. They don't see what we do.
We'll have more on that shortly, plus we'll be looking back on 10 years since Nottingham was made a UNESCO City of Literature. It's been a decade since the designation was awarded, nurturing the city's creative and cultural community, as well as supporting the city on a global scale. We're going to be joined by a representative from the City of Literature later on to look back on those 10 years. We're also going to be hearing from Police and Crime Commissioner Gary Godden about new opportunities for community groups to get their share of a £300,000 funding pot.
Safer Nottinghamshire Together grants are available now to tackle antisocial behaviour, violence against women and girls, serious violence including knife crime, as well as protecting vulnerable people from harm.
And I'm looking forward to this. Later on, we're going to be meeting one of the stars of the Irish cult classic Riverdance before its mesmerising choreography arrives in our city this year. The iconic stage show, which fuses, of course, Irish and international dance and music, is in its 30th year. 30 years that's been going on. And we'll hear all about what you can expect when its new generation performance comes to our city in October. And in sports, we're going to be hearing from Outlaws batsman Joe Clark, whose half-century wasn't quite enough as Notts fell to defeat against Yorkshire at Trent Bridge.
You know, our batting has shown that we bat deep and lads are striking the ball really well at the moment, but I think tonight was probably our night off on this occasion.
There's loads more coming up just for you, but first, and we are celebrating not only the creativity of our city, but a big birthday too, because the Nottingham City of Literature is kicking off its 10th anniversary celebrations after helping to become a UNESCO Creative City back in 2015. And to mark the milestone, the group is taking the message all across the city, quite literally too, as a celebratory poster is going to be on the side of an NCTX bus, and they want you to celebrate. Here to tell us more is Hannah Trevarthen from the City of Literature. Hannah, thank you so much for coming in. And I can't believe it's been 10 years.
It is 10 years. It's gone really fast, I think.
So fast. So first of all, what does it mean to be UNESCO City of Literature?
A City of Literature is a really brilliant designation which celebrates and acknowledges a city's creativity, its heritage. So in our case, our very, very rich literary heritage, including people like Lord Byron, to name one, but then also the contemporary scene that we have here. So we're really a city of poets. We really are. Somebody once said to me, oh, if you throw a book in Old Market Square, you'd hit a poet. I don't recommend that, Don't do that. But we've got so many brilliant collectives and writers here. It's really a recognition of that, and also what we want to achieve and aspire to as a city through reading and writing.
I mean, it's such a brilliant thing. I'm so happy that we were awarded it. How do you get to be awarded a UNESCO City of Literature, though? How did it happen?
Well, there's an application process. It happens every 2 years. So I've actually just read 20 applications for prospective cities of literature, but we did that 11 years ago. And that was a coalition of work with brilliant colleagues across the sector from both universities, the Arts Council. It was really spearheaded by a brilliant writers here in the city. So it was a grassroots movement really to get Nottingham into the group, and then it goes through a kind of slightly complex process, peer review, but it's really a recognition from UNESCO and global peers about the aspiration and the quality of work that we have in the city.
And this is, I think, why it's so cool. I mean, obviously, I love Nottingham. I think it's brilliant and I could shout about it for ages. But it is nice to get this recognition. Why is it important? Because we knew we were brilliant and a great city when it comes to literature and poetry and writers and creativity as well. But why is it important to get this recognition?
I think the way that I think about it is it's about taking Nottingham out into the world and then bringing the world into Nottingham. So we do loads of fantastic stuff, as you just said. I'm sure we could all bang on about how great Nottingham is and what we have. But for me and for us as an organisation, it's about celebrating that. And for us, because we work so much with young people, it's showing them kind of different avenues, different places, different ways that they can connect. And so that's why I think it's important.
I love it. And And how are we celebrating this 10-year anniversary?
Oh, brilliant question. Well, one, you've mentioned the bus.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the bus, please,
I'm going to see.
Oh, there.
Picture of the bus. There we go.
There's the bus. And it says some of our sister cities of literature on that. So Ljubljana, Barcelona and Lviv. So it's also to remind people that we're in this big network. And to do that, we've got events coming up. Our youth board are planning some special events for over the summer. We've got some partnerships in the works, which I can't share just yet, so I'm going to have to be a bit tantalising there, a bit of a tease. But we really just want to get people talking about books and sharing them and sharing their stories with us as well. But something I'd like to share is that it's Nottingham Poetry Festival. It's just kicked off. They're 10 years old like us, so we, as part of that, have brought a brilliant poet from Quebec in Canada over called Vanessa Bell. She did an event last night, one tonight, and also one tomorrow in Nottingham Central Library. So come and hear about the work from a poet in another city of literature. Everyone is welcome.
Cool. And this is the thing, because you do want people to get involved, don't you?
We do want you to get involved, want you to come along to events. We'll be doing work as part of our Nature Laureate programmes. They'll be doing community events across the city, and we want people to come, share their words, share their experiences, and be inspired by nature and the world around them.
And once we've become a city of literature, do you just keep that forever now?
We do just keep that forever. I should say, because people always ask, oh, do you get money from UNESCO? We don't get any money from UNESCO, but we do get to be part of this really fantastic network where we can connect with cities around the world.
That is wonderful. And if people want to find out more, where can they go?
You can find us on our website, nottinghamcityofliterature.com. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. I'm told we're on TikTok, but I'm not there because I'm a bit of a...
And on the side of a bus as well.
And we're on the side of a bus.
Anna, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. I'll look out for that bus. Moving on now, and healthcare workers at Nottingham University hospitals have continued their strike action this week in a dispute over pay, banding and back pay. Healthcare workers are responsible for the basic care of patients, which includes helping bathe, feed and dress them. However, striking workers are arguing their responsibilities go further, including taking blood and cannulation, which would push them into a higher pay band. Whilst NUH has offered back pay settlements, many workers believe it's not enough. Lucy Marshall went down to the picket line this morning to hear from those involved.
Chants from the picket lines outside Nottingham City Hospital. Healthcare workers from Nottingham City Hospital and Queen's Medical Centre are in an ongoing standoff with Nottingham University Hospitals Trust over pay banding. NHS healthcare workers currently come under Band 2 pay. However, these workers argue that the work and responsibilities they've taken on over the last few years actually fall under the Band 3 category. NUH said that it had agreed to increase the annual salaries of the staff and provide them with back pay to August 2021. This is something it believed was a fair and reasonable offer. However, some workers are arguing that the extra responsibilities they've taken on date as far back as 2018. This week's strike's the third round of action over the issue, which healthcare workers like Hayden Jones and Emily Kemp say is a necessary measure.
We're so tired, we're so drained, but we're still coming to work and doing it every day. And you don't have the big bosses, you don't have the trust coming down on the wards to help you. They don't see what we do. And we feel like we've got the complete public support. Every time we're out here, they're showing us the support for us. We've got all our HCAs backing us. We have our amazing union that's behind us and backing us, but the trust aren't, and they need to get on board.
Industrial action has been taken since April, with the strikes currently likely to continue until the 14th of June. Mark Wayne is an organiser at Unison, which represents 890 of the workers. He believes that the Trust's offer simply isn't good enough so far.
Every single person here on this picket line will have a story of either themselves or their friends working hard right on the front line during the pandemic period, and they deserve back pay for that period. And to be quite honest, they deserve respect from the Trust to acknowledge all the work that they did.
The Trust's back pay offer, which it says is in line with the national update on job profiles for healthcare support workers, would cost around £10 million. Tracy Pilcher, Chief Nurse at Nottingham University Hospital's NHS Trust, said, "During strike action, the safety of our patients and staff remains our top priority. Our teams have robust plans to mitigate the impact on our services, and we are asking people to attend their appointments as planned, unless they have been told otherwise. Our healthcare support workers are a vital and valuable group of colleagues. Our hospitals could not run as they do without their skill and dedication to our patients." Until an agreement is reached, for now, these healthcare workers are continuing their campaign and staying firmly on the picket lines. Lucy Marshall for Notts TV.
Thank you, Lucy. Right, in other Notts news, police have launched a murder investigation and made an arrest after a man died in hospital following a village pub assault. The victim, a man in his 30s, suffered serious injuries after the assault at the Markets Inn in Huthwaite just after 9 p.m. on Sunday. Police then confirmed on Wednesday that the man had died in hospital, with the incident being now treated as murder. A 30-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of murder, as well as a 51-year-old woman who was arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. Anyone with any further information should call the police on 101. Next, Nottinghamshire police have found the body of a woman in the River Trent near Gunthorpe, days after she went missing from her home in Bingham. The force launched a public appeal after 42-year-old Tracy Harrison was reported missing on Saturday. A body was found in the river just before 1 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon. And police say whilst that formal identification hasn't taken place, Tracy's family have been informed. The force aren't treating the death as suspicious and have thanked everyone who shared their public appeals. Right, time for a short break now, but when we get back, we are going to be meeting one of the stars of the iconic river dance. Cannot wait for that. Plus, we'll be hearing how community groups can apply for a new policing fund, and we've got your sports roundup too. All that and plenty more coming up on the way next. Hello, welcome back to Thursday's show with me, Emma Caldwell. I hope you're all right today. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the sunshine that we've been having and that incredible downpour as well. It was just on my way to work. Wasn't happy with that. Here's what's happening in Notts today first, and 2 air quality management zones in Rushcliffe have been revoked after significant improvements in the past 5 years. The air quality zones were around Trent Bridge and the A52 near Stragglethorpe and were in place due to previously high levels of toxic nitrous dioxide levels. But Rushcliffe Borough Council have said improvements have been linked with measures to reduce congestion and the associated emissions, as well as changes in vehicle technology and lifestyle too. Next, 3 new paddle tennis courts are going to be built at the Nottingham Tennis Centre as the large facility looks to capitalise on the growing sport. The facility on University Boulevard in Lenton is the largest public tennis centre in Great Britain. They have 40 courts, but now it's diversifying to offer paddle too. It's a growing racket sport similar to tennis and squash. I tried it for the very first time recently. Very good fun, usually played in doubles, and courts are already built, of course, near Notts County's Meadow Lane Stadium. Plans for the 3 new covered panel courts were approved by the council last week. Moving on now, and Nottinghamshire's Police and Crime Commissioner Gary Godden has announced a new fund aimed at supporting the county's community and voluntary organisations. They've got the chance to apply for a share of a £30,000 pot aimed at creating a safer Notts for all. The grants will be given to groups tackling antisocial behaviour, protecting people from harm, preventing violence against women and girls, reducing serious violence and knife crime, or improving outcomes for children, women and girls, as well as minorities. Here's the Commissioner explaining more.
I'm making £300,000 available to community and voluntary groups who can help me in my aim to create a safer Nottinghamshire for all. My name is Gary Godden and I'm your Police and Crime Commissioner for Nottinghamshire. And I'm looking to work in partnership with groups who can help me deliver some key priorities in my police and crime plan. Safer Nottinghamshire Together grants are available now to tackle antisocial behaviour, violence against women and girls, serious violence including knife crime, as well as protecting vulnerable people from harm and improving criminal justice outcomes for children, women, girls and minority communities. If you want to find out more to apply online, go to my website before the deadline of the 15th of July.
Our next chat now, and if you're looking for a dance, then the Royal Concert Hall may have just the show for you. Riverdance, the next generation, is going to be coming to Nottingham later on this year, and unbelievably it is celebrating 30 years since the Irish and international dance fusion first appeared on the stage. It's a new special anniversary production, welcoming a new generation of performers too, but of course guaranteeing a spectacular show that fans old and new can enjoy. And I'm really pleased to tell us all about it is dance captain Anna Maya Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so genuinely excited about this chat because I think Riverdance is one of the most exceptional shows I've ever seen. But even though it's celebrating its 30th anniversary, for those that might not have seen it or might have just heard about these fabulous dancing legs, what can you tell us about Riverdance? How would you describe it?
Oh, well, Riverdance is a phenomenon. It's been here for the last 30 years. It first graced the stage back at the Eurovision Song Contest in 1994. And since then, a full production show was created in 95, and it's been gracing the stage all across theatres around the world. It's a unity and an energy of just dance, music, harmony, storytelling, choreography, and it's a must-see.
And it's just an incredible, like you say, a phenomenon, like it's something spectacular. And you knew from a really early age, didn't you, that Irish dancing was what you wanted to do?
Absolutely. I think many people in Ireland grow up with Irish dancing in our culture, in our local primary school, and it's something that everybody tries until a certain point. But for my brother and I, we just kept going. We danced competitively for about 16 years, and Riverdance was created before either of us were born. So we always saw it as the dream and as, kind of the pinnacle of Irish dancing. So it was absolutely just so monumentous for us to be able to join the cast and to tour for the last 8 years. It's phenomenal. It's a great family to be a part of.
And like you say, it's a family affair because both you and your brother have taken on principal dance leads. I mean, that just must be incredible. Your family just must be like, this is amazing.
They're very proud. And, we're so happy that we were fortunate enough to have a family that was able to sacrifice so much so we could go to dance class every day, essentially travel all around Ireland, all around the UK, and then over to America for competitions at the weekends. We have a very supportive family, and we're so lucky to have them.
I mean, that call, when you got the call to be the principal dancer, that just must have been, because like you say, Riverdance for an Irish dancer, like that's a dream come true, just to be part of the cast. But to get that call, take us back, what was that like for you?
Oh my goodness. It was one of the best moments of my life. I have goosebumps even thinking about it. It's just such an honor because, Riverdance, like I said, it was created before I was born. It's the absolute pinnacle of Ireland and of our culture. And to hear the words that you're going to get to be one of those leading ladies is a dream come true. It's what I've worked my whole life for. It's what I still strive to be better at every day. My brother and I, we try to be 1% better every day. And because of the roles that we're in and because of the responsibility that we feel we have, because of the 30 years of people that have paved this legacy for us so that we're able to live out our dream role every night.
I mean, it's just amazing. So as you say, the 30th anniversary of the show, what I love about this is it's a new generation of performers, all of whom, like yourself and your brother, weren't even born when Riverdance started. What can people expect from this new production?
Yes. So for the 25th anniversary of the show, the Grammy Award-winning score was recomposed. And then since then, we've had numbers been added for this new 30th generation show. We've had some of the set design you see on stage has been updated. We've had costumes be altered and changed. So that's really exciting. And then, of course, we have all of the cast that are up there on that stage weren't born when Riverdance first graced the stage. So we've all grown up with Riverdance. We've never known life without Riverdance. And it's just such an honor to be able to be part of this current cast that gets to pave the way for the next 30 years and for the next generations of dancers to carry Riverdance across the world. And
I agree with you. I think it will definitely be going for another 30 odd years. I think it's so exciting. Remind us when and where you're going to be river dancing in Nottingham.
So we're in the UK from August through to December. The dates for Nottingham, I need to double check.
It's all right, I've got those dates. And I tell you what, we are very excited because you're coming to Nottingham to the Royal Concert Hall on the 4th and 5th of October. We're excited about this because there's only 30 places in the UK tour that you're coming to. So we are so thrilled. I love the fact of how much you buzz about the show because you clearly love it. So we cannot wait to see you. I know tickets are going very, very fast in Nottingham. Anna Mia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Honestly, her vibe was incredible. Cannot wait for that show to come to Nottingham, beginning of October. Right, time for your sport now, and we are starting with cricket. After a batting half century by Joe Clark wasn't enough for the Notts Outlaws as they fell to defeat against Yorkshire at Trent Bridge. The Outlaws fell 9 runs short despite thinking that they might successfully chase down the visitors, with Clark making 50 runs from 29 balls. But they ultimately lost the match. And speaking afterwards, Clark said that they lost wickets at just the wrong time.
Obviously they got off to a really good start. Credit to our bowlers. I thought we pulled it back nicely. Obviously the wicket was a little bit slower than Saturday night, and we managed to restrict them to what I thought was a gettable total. And I think at the 10 over mark, I backed us all the way to win that. And unfortunately we just kept losing wickets at the wrong times, and didn't have anyone from the sort of top 7 who could go on and be there at the end. Disappointing that I couldn't sort of take it a little bit deeper. You know, our batting has shown that we bat deep, and lads are striking the ball really well at the moment. But I think tonight was probably our night off on this occasion.
Into ice hockey now, and Nottingham Panthers forward Didrik Henbrand says playing for the Panthers ticks all the boxes after he agreed to a 3rd successive season. The 27-year-old forward scored 41 points across 51 regular season matches last year and was also part of the playoff winning squad in April too. And in a new interview with Panthers TV, he said the playoff victory was written in the stars, with excitement building for what could happen in the season ahead.
I mean, it checks all the boxes. We got a great fan base. We got a great team that, you know, they won this year and hopefully wins next year. And, you know, great rink, great, like everyone in the organization is just super real. So, I don't know, it checks all the boxes. It was a grind. I'm not going to lie, it was a grind. You know, 2 overtimes and the roller coaster of, you know, scoring and then not scoring and they scored. You know, it was a roller coaster. But you know, when you work hard for something, it means more. So, you know, I'm super excited. You really need to be ready all the time. You can't have an off game. So, you know, I think the mentality was there from the beginning that we wanted to win and we would do everything to get there.
And in football, Mansfield Town have signed a new goalkeeper after Liam Roberts joined the club on a 2-year deal. The 30-year-old joins Field Mill after his contract at Championship side Millwall expired. He made 6 appearances in his single season at the Den after starting his career at hometown club Walsall, where he played 149 times across 9 years. He's also played for Middlesbrough, Burnley and Barnsley since leaving the West Midlands, with Nigel Clough saying he has experience that fits the bill perfectly for the Stags. All right, let's take a look at your picture of the day. This fabulous shot from Lawnmaster Notts. Look at that, absolutely beautiful, weather-wise now. And I've got to be honest, more sunshine on the way, but not without its share of cloud too. Tonight is going to be dropping down to 15 degrees. Tomorrow, once again, starting out sunny, but we will see some overcast skies by the late afternoon, with a high of 26 and a low of 16. Saturday looking very similar. Sunny starts with cloudy skies rolling into the evening, with a high of 23 and a low of 13. And that is it, the end of the show today. Thank you, as always, to our brilliant guests. Now, I'm on a little day off, so Mark Dennison is back same time tomorrow to guide you into the weekend. But for now, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.